Okay, it's me. I'm back. The Dark Kabbalist. Mysterious Messianic. The Mage, the Mystic. The Master of Magic. Mikhail. Okay, you gotta believe in yourself, guys. All right, check this out. Yeah. Woodcut. Okay, this is the Alchemystic. Okay, look at the spelling. Alchemystic. MYSTIC. The Alchemistic Woodcut Tarot. This is super cool. Okay. Now, this is actually published by D.W. Prudence. It says the, actually I have another deck here. This deck you guys probably don't care about. This is the Romance Oracle. Everyone seems to have the Romance Oracle. Okay. I'm not going to do a box opening on this one. But this is Doreen Virtue. Oh, I didn't realize that. I'm excited to have a Doreen Virtue product. But if you check out my other video on the Barbary Zodiac Oracle, you can see that these are these are packaged very similarly. Okay. Okay, very similar, same kind of concept, solid box. Okay, very good for travel. Okay. Oh, I got mine on a deal. Good to know. Okay, so check out Amazon, all right, for your tarot deals. Okay, now let's check out this. Got the Hermetic Tarot. I'm so excited. We're about to open this, and we're about to open the Woodcut Tarot. Okay, cool. I might even go live and do some readings. All right, so let's check out this one first, since the Hermetic Tarot is already kind of open. Peeled off the plastic already. Okay, let's open up this box. Now, I've seen this deck before, ages ago. Now, this is based upon the esoteric workings of the Secret Order of the Golden Dawn. Okay, by Godfrey Dowson, U.S. Game Systems Incorporated. I got this off of Amazon. This is emphasis on the esoteric design of the Golden Dawn, astrological attributes with further Sephiroic, angelic, geomantic, numerical, and Kabbalistic elements. Now revered as a classic, this deck's black and white artwork by Godfrey Dowson features intricate detailing that highlights the powerful symbolism. Okay, so I like that this deck isn't too colorful. Actually, I actually like that because I think it brings a real kind of like old kind of parchment type quality to it. Let's break the seal. Okay. It's like opening a pack of cigarettes. Okay. All right. Now we've got this nice little published book here. Okay. The Hermetic Tarot. Again, we can see this fantastic reference to the Rosencrux of the Rosicrucian. I need like a stylus. Here we go. Of the Rosicrucian. Okay. We see this sacred rose here. All the petals. We see this cross in the center. This is the Rosencrux, the Rosy Cross. We see the Egyptian scepter, and I'm not sure what that is actually, but I do believe they're that's supposed to be a wand, a sword, a cup, and a baton, I guess. I mean, or a wand, a sword, a cup, and there are no pentacles. Okay. Pretty interesting. Okay, and I also see the lion and the eagle here. I see this Star of David, Magian David, the sun and the moon. This is a classic. This is still the very same style of a woodcut, and that's what we're going to see in the next deck also. When I open up this book, okay, I've got a nice little small little cheat sheet for some of the glyphs. You probably can't see that actually. Sorry. Small little cheat sheet for some of the glyphs, the planetary glyphs and elemental glyphs here. Okay, you can see it closer if you buy this deck yourself. Okay, it's got some background discussion. And now as I flip through this book, I'm really just trying to get the size of the book. I see that it is all 100% English. So that's really cool. So everything in this book, and this is actually quite a sizable book for one of those small tarot inserts. This is actually not too shabby. Okay, and this probably holds the same amount of information as we saw in this in the last video, if you saw that, in the Barbary deck, where we realized that the information in English actually takes up, you know, just about a third of the book. Okay, so you're probably getting about the same information. Okay, about the same amount of information. The only difference is that, you know, they spent the money on the production and the publishing versus the Hermetic Tarot, which did not spend all of that money. Okay, so let's see how in depth they go. Okay, great. So this actually goes in depth. This goes and explains each card. So let's start here. Let's just use this as an example. I just want to pair this with the book quickly so that we can. Oh, so fun. Okay, now, yeah, what we've got also here is we've got we've got a list of the tarot card and the astrological sign correspondence and elemental correspondence, planetary correspondence. So this is going to help me a lot when I get to my my Barbary Zodiac Oracle. I will be able to pair these cards together, because I will be able to see very clearly what is the astrological correspondence, and then I can look up that deeply, and then I can do other more sophisticated spreads and to kind of discern that meaning. Okay, so that's pretty cool. All right, so now, so that's pretty fun. I'm really glad to see that they've got that. Now, if I look at a card here, oh wow, this is a quite advanced book. If you want to talk about the tree of life, it goes into the 4 aces, what they mean, the 4 twos, 3s, 4s, 5s, 6s, 7s, 8s, all 4 of them, certain themes, their relationship to different Sephiroth spheres on the tree of life. Okay. Okay, that's great. This is actually a really, I'm really excited about this. The more I look at it, the more excited I get. So let's just look at, I'm just going to look at one card right now. And this is the Foolish Man. Okay, we see that this person actually looks quite like a Sagittarian with that centaur bottom. We see that we've got some nice black and white artwork here. Okay, even though it's black and white, it still has a great detail and texture to it. I like that we've got this elemental glyph of air. Okay, we're seeing Mercury. No, that's Pluto, isn't that? I believe that's Pluto. Wow, what a rich picture. Okay, we see oh wow, this one has the Egyptian effect more than the dog. It's got the crocodile, and the crocodile is in you know, the keeper of the underworld, a very wise, magically powerful creature in ancient Egypt. This crocodile is the keeper of mysteries and secrets. We see I'm totally wrong. This isn't a centaur. Look at this. I thought this was a beastly man, but I didn't see that face there. That's his dog. That little wolf. Okay, and he's got this. Oh wow. So the middle foot looks a little bit like a paw and a little bit like a foot. So we see there's some kind of like merger here of this refined man and this carnal beast. Okay, and so this is the fool's journey. Okay, and I appreciate that he's got this these fabulously thorned roses, these roses in his around him, both with thorns, both in different states of bloom or different species. I see that beast down there. It does have the dog and a gator, and that's his little satchel. Okay, all this potential, all this possibility, all this radiance. Okay, the Foolish Man. All right, East of Eden. Super cool. All right, so now I'm going to compare this to the, let's read what it says about the Foolish Man. 0. the spirit of Aether. Okay. Aleph, so I've got the Hebrew letter correspondence. What does that Aleph mean? It means ox. That's also here, the planet Pluto. Okay, so that is Pluto down there. Okay. And then it goes into the iconography, or the symbolism here. The sun indicates a bright spring morning. The two-part triangle in the upper right of the card represents air. The symbol of Pluto appears in the mist in front of the man. The foolish man stands with his worldly belongings at the edge of a precipice, ignoring the lashing waves and the crocodile with open jaws. The foolish man holds in his right hand the rose of joy, signifying perfect innocence, and holds a fierce wolf in check by a leash. Behind him sprouts a flower of silence. The higher significance of this card suggests that the foolish man's perfect innocence is holding the wolf. Thus, the anger of worldly wisdom is held in check by innocence. Meaning idea, thought, sensitivity, the flesh, eternal life, spirituality, initiative, folly, foolishness, reverse, bad decision, indecision, apathy, hesitation. Okay, so we see that there is some very traditional tarot symbolism here with the full card. However, when we're given the added information by having not just a dog, but a wolf, having the crocodile, having two flowers, having the elements, having the planets, when we're having such rich symbolism, then we are able to take this to a more advanced level than you would be able to with a traditional Rider-Waite as a student, if you were a student and just using the Rider-Waite. So I think that's really fascinating. This goes through all of these cards like that. Then we even go into the minor arcana, which I think is really fascinating. Let's go back through. Let's get to see what's at the end. Okay, and let's get to the spreads. I don't see any spreads really that are different than the classic Celtic cross. Okay, so that is disappointing. That's disappointing to me. I really appreciate the Celtic cross, but it's not like, I mean, it's definitely the bread and butter of tarot, and I think that we need to kind of expand. I would love to have seen something different, something that was more akin to something that was very Kabbalistic, and something that would allow me to investigate this and relate this more to, the Tree of Life and how I could interact with the cards on the Tree of Life. If you're able to see this very carefully, if we look closely, you see this writing here. All of this is telling me where these cards belong on the Tree of Life, but it's not really telling me where the cards belong. It's telling me where the Hebrew letter belongs. Okay, and there are different schools of thought on where the Hebrew letters belong on the Tree of Life. And then this is extremely superficial as far as the Kabbalistic depth here, so that I don't appreciate. But as far as a tarot deck, this looks amazing. So they are not. This is tarot toward Kabbalah, not Kabbalah toward tarot. Okay, so when I'm looking at the even the minor cards here, this is the Five of Pentacles. These are not too stylized with big scenes that we see in here's the Seven of Pentacles. Okay, we see him holding on to this sticks and straws. Some flowers coming out. Okay, a lot of Hebraic writing, which I'm going to be excited to learn. And we've got some astrological glyphs, okay, which is really going to be helpful. I love that for the minor arcana also. Super interesting. Okay, actually, these do have a certain depth to them. So for instance, when I compare this with the, let's go to the Seven of Pentacles, and now let's look at the Six of Pentacles. I notice that in each card, the pentacles are quite different. The discs are different. The coins are different. I like that I see an herbal. I really love the botanical element here with the esoteric quality. I love that it connects the material world with the supernal. So that's really fascinating. Okay, and as I look at these, yeah, all of these discs are quite different from each other. Okay. So these are all worth an in-depth look. They seem kind of okay, and I see at the bottom we've got the Lord of Wealth, Lord of Prudence, this little bit of information. So this is a great deck for the esoteric student. It looks like, you know, I wonder if there is a bigger, more comprehensive text about this that I could research, even how some of these plants are related to these images. Wow, check out swords. Check out the swords. Okay, very passionate, very energetic. These swords have wings. These have birds at the bottom. Okay, we see some Aquarian imagery. Venus and Aquarius. Lord of Defeat. Ooh. Yeah, this is so cool. All these swords are different. All of these swords are totally cool and different, okay? So you guys are going to love this deck if you find it, okay? You can handle this kind of stuff. Okay, so this is, you know, we were looking for for the high level practitioners, people trying to take their skills to the next level. And I just can't, I'm not going to be afraid of that. I really just feel like this stuff needs to be next level. I'm not really looking to, you know, play the fan game or whatever. I just want to do some deep magic. Okay. And those of you who want to join me, we're going to check this stuff out. It's going to be so exciting. So I'm super excited about this. Minor arc. We're going to go through some of these cards. It's because I'm about to geek out on this and I don't want to leave you all behind. Wow. This is really quite extraordinary. These are really quite phenomenal. Okay. Okay. So this is the, let's go through the Fool. The Magician. Okay. Got his wand. Mercury, Caduceus. Fascinating. Okay. High Priestess. Again, Hathor's horns. Royalty. The moon. Wow. It's interesting that she's looking off to the side, which is not the classic Rider-Waite. This Empress, I was going to say Chariot. Wow, this Black Phoenix. Yeah. Daughter of the Mighty Ones. Okay, that's my little baby girl right there. That reminds me of my daughter. Okay. Check that out. That's so cool. She's got Venus at her head. That's her. She's crowned by Venus. All right. This one is the Emperor. Boom. Filled with initiative, ownership. I like that he's not just sitting. He's dynamic. He's ready. He's active. I mean, he's in his own space, but he's not just sitting and reclining. At his feet is this enormous, beautiful eagle or falcon. Okay. Maybe even a raven. I'm gonna have to consult the book there. That could be the ravens speaking to Odin, bringing him messages. The Hierophant. Okay, we see the Magian David, the Star of David. We see that it is very much connected to the Mason tradition in the style that they've created this with the letter A and the how they're playing with the alpha. Okay, we've got the Pentacle. We've got the ooh, I don't know what that is. I want to say a Celtic knot, but I don't want to. I could be saying the trifoil. Is that trifoil? Pentagram and a trifoil. Okay. These horns at the bottom. Horns always symbolize power in the Judeo-Christian tradition. Tusks. This looks like a dismembered elephant. Fascinating, fascinating, super interesting. He's got planets in jars and pillars of looks like pillars of books or something, but in the top you see the even planetary energy is just jarred up, just totally collected, contained, almost like curator of the spirit. We've got the Lover's card. Oh, wow. Okay, so energetic, huge serpent here. Wow, they're chained. This reminds me almost of the Devil card, Children of the Voice Divine. Wow, this lover is in chains. Wow, so that really reminds me of the Devil card, actually, which the Lovers and Devil is quite analogous. The Chariot. Look at this. They're not Sphinx. They're like, are they Sphinx? They're people. Cancer in the center. We can see the Cancer concept. We see the Merkaba. We cannot see the face of the charioteer. Okay. Super interesting. I'm so happy to have gotten this deck. Strength. Okay. This Cup of Victory. Chalice of fire. Creativity. It's like she's in armor, but it's rosy armor with a dress, a maiden. Okay. Super interesting. Now, this reminds me of the classic with that shield right there. That reminds me more of the classic Empress card. But even in this deck, the Empress card isn't like that. The Hermit. This stone, an egg. Wow, I'm about to rock. Wheel of Fortune. Wheel of Fortune's okay. I would like to have seen more of the Merkaba with this Wheel of Fortune. I would like to have seen more of the 4 angelic cherubs. Not the cherubs. Are they cherubs? Seraphim. Archangels. So let's see. Justice, yin yang. I think that's cool. Okay, we've got that. Eastern image here mixed with the Western. We've got the Hangman reverse. This is a very complex concept, an image we see here. I love that he's got this awesome tattoo on his ass. He's like, Star of David, represent. Okay, and you've got the rosy cross here. You've got the Ankh inverted, which I don't think. Which I'm actually going to have to look that up. This triangle, square, grid. Okay, splashing water. Wow. Death. Yes, death. Scorpio, baby. That's where we're at. Okay, we've got the little phoenix concept here, or the eagle for the Scorpio, scorpion for the Scorpio. We've got the, I see a serpent here. There's lots of snakes in this, but this may also be a reference to a fucus. I don't see him holding a snake, though. He's holding a scythe. It almost looks like someone's smoking a blunt, but I can't figure out who's smoking it. Bones everywhere. It's super cool. This is super cool. Temperance. Whoa, she's got lightning in one and water in the other cup. Temperance is not playing around. Oh, I love this material beast, the god of this world. Okay, so that represents a definite devil figure. And this angelic creature has come down to this profane world and this carnal world to bring this alchemical elixir and this medicine and to answer prayers. So anyway, this is so fascinating. The devil has a crown of thorns. This nocturnal bat, this definitely represents the vampiric energy transfer, siphoning energy, dominating energy. If you ever use bats in magic, that's what they're good for, is to pull energy from others. Now we've got these kind of like cartoony male and female. They're like not even human, they're impish. So this is them even beyond their. This is them just people deep in their carnality, to where they lose the beauty of the human form, but they have embraced the more profane and disfigured qualities of our shadow. The blasted tower, interesting. Wow, the tree of life, 2 trees of life. So we've got, this isn't reversed, so it could be the tree of the Kilpot. I can't remember the word. It's some kind of demonic version of the tree of life. I don't really deal with the devils. The angels are scary enough. Okay, this is pretty interesting. The star, not my favorite. The star here is interesting because the star isn't the star. The actual star is the star of this card. Okay, so I think that's really interesting. I'm gonna have to investigate this card and meditate on it. There's a lot of the intricacy of the tree of life here. This is actually where we're seeing the elemental quadrants of each Sephirah. Okay, and understanding how each Sephirah operates in the 4 worlds of manifestation. So I think that that's really interesting. Okay, I'm not even sure what to make of that, which is what I like, the mystery. The moon, beautiful, nice scarab on it, some Anubis, a couple of Anubis characters. The sun, the sun could be better. I like the Rider-Waite sun. I haven't been thrilled with either sun in either one of these decks I just opened. Spirit of the Primordial Fire, Last Judgments. He's got a shofar, not a trumpet, European trumpet. The universe. Okay, so yeah, that one's definitely gone way out. I don't even know what they're doing right there. Okay, so this is super interesting. I'm going to have to look at each one of these cards one at a time and meditate on them. Who knows, even if I share this, because I'm so thrilled. It's like I don't even want to share these. Because I'm just going to spend all the time being like, whoa, chick, that's a dog. So I'm going to have to play with these before I introduce these publicly. Okay, so now let's check this out. The next deck we've got here, spent about 30 minutes on that last deck. This is super interesting too. This one I just stumbled upon, as I was doing some study in theosophy. And so this got this cool giant box here. Okay. Alchemystic Woodcut Tarot. The Secret Wisdom of the Ages. Okay, nice. So I've opened this book. It's got a nice little strings here to hold it open. Okay, it's very nice. Okay, very solid, very sturdy. Okay. What I like, yeah, baby. This has got a serious text. Okay, this has got a serious text. Wow, these cards are bigger than I thought they were. Okay, so this has got a nice size text here. Wow. Nice table of contents. So let's just look before we go into, obviously the cards are in here, but let's understand that they have changed the names of the suits. So the suit of alchemists, the suit of mages, the suit of mystics, and the suit of the Shekinah. Okay, so what we understand is Shekinah is that, this is part of my goddess worship, is the Shekinah that filters down to the mystics, which is my path. The mages is what we do, and the alchemists is, very intellectualized, philosophical portion of that, not necessarily practitioners, is what they're trying to say here. So we start off with card spreads early in the book. Then we talk about tarot and the Kabbalah for a good 3 pages. Then we've got about 10 pages called the Secret Wisdom of the Ages. And we even talk about the back of the cards. I haven't even pulled the cards out yet. I'm still looking at the book. So we're just going to flip randomly in the front here. And we're going to see several, oh yeah, baby, that's what I'm talking about. Several different spreads, some spreads I've never used before. Of course, the Celtic cross. Okay. And I'm not trying to hate on the Celtic cross at all. This is the Crusader cross, the Celtic cross, past, present, future, horseshoe. That's a classic one. Okay, now we've got this table here. With this table, it tells us the major arcana, the meaning. It's like a 1 or 2 word meaning of the card. Along with this meaning, so for instance, like I'll come down to, let's say the high priestess. The high priestess is said to be the secret temple, the meaning, but also says the church. And then even the empress is called the woman of Israel, the lovers, Adam and Eve, the chariot, Elijah, the hermit, Apostle John, okay, fate, trials, self-control, okay, let me see if we have any important names here. Okay, so I think that's really interesting. Okay, we have the Hebrew letter correspondence, we have the meaning of that letter, simple to look up. We have the path of wisdom, which we'll have to look to see what that means. And then we have the way they set this up here is that we've got this is for the minor arcana. This is really hard for you to see, but it's going to tell you here in the minor arcana, we see that it's the Shekinah, we see the alchemist, the mystic, I'm sorry, the alchemist, the mage, the mystic, and the Shekinah. Okay, and it breaks it down by the number and tells you what each means in just a simple word. Ooh, the Philosopher's Stone, the 7 of Alchemists. Fascinating. Wow, this is like this is going to be my new favorite thing. I'm glad I opened this last. Okay, so anyway, so we open to any old page here. We get a full page of the artwork, which I really appreciate, and a bit of a digest here. I think that the text could either have been better formatted. It could be, it could fill the page. I definitely think this could fill the page. I definitely think this should have filled the page. What I'm going to do as my own practitioner is I'm going to use these empty margins, and then I'll start to write in my own notes and texts in these margins here that are going to need to further understand. I would have appreciated if they either had slightly enlarged the font to fill the page or to have added more information in general. I think that would have just been more aesthetically pleasing. As a media student, as a PR major, someone who dissects and critiques media on a regular basis. Okay, so now we get to talk about, wow, the Ten of Mate. Oh, some of this is really, whoa, this is all about what I'm talking about, Kabbalah, Christ consciousness. Okay, and this is super interesting. So now let's get into the cards that actually have come with this box. Oh my gosh, I'm like steeped in tarot. Okay, so now we get our, so now we're going back to the box. Okay. Pop these bad boys out. Okay. So they're well packaged, very safe. Let's get this. Almost. Now look. Let's get that away. Okay, now look. Look at the size of the card. Here's my hand. Okay. And now we can compare this to the size of the Barbary Oracle cards. Very similar, okay? If you are unfamiliar with those, remember the Romance Oracle deck size. This is how it compares, okay, to the Romance Oracle. It's a little bit of labor here, okay? So, but the sizes, they're pretty big. And I'm not fully sure which suit. It's got a nice little plastic bind to pop off. Now these cards are like stuck together. Like you're gonna have to take your time, pull them off one by one. The back of the card, there is a section in the book that's going to describe the back of this card. Okay. See the elements. We see some alchemical symbols, mercury, maybe sulfur. I'm not sure. About some kind of stylized tree of life. Okay, the backs are all the same. Okay, so now, and these are what the cards look like. Okay, so this would be the 4 of mages. Wow, 5 of mages. All of these take deep study and esoteric understanding, because when you're interpreting these, you need to understand the Hebrew. You need to understand what do some of these seals mean? What do some of these glyphs mean? What is this at the top, this abracadabra here? And wow, even some Latin. So this is right up my alley. Okay. Oh, check out the Queen of Mages. Okay. Whore of Babylon, the woman that rides on the beast. Okay. So this must be fire. This must be the fire deck, the fire element. Because this is a queen who is magnetic and glamorous and glorious. This is definitely the Queen of Wands. Okay. Even though she's holding a cup, that's more of the biblical lore, is that this is a cup of wine. But yeah, this is a, unless I'm mistaken. Wow, the King of Mages. So steeped in Kabbalah, steeped in esotericism. Oh, wow, the Ace of Mystics. Life and death. 2 of Mystics, 3 of Mystics. Okay, so this is going to be really fun to read and bring to you guys, and especially as I study more and find out all these specific stories and glyphs and things like that. Super interesting. Okay, now let's bust into the major arcana. Okay, the Fool. He's got a horse. He's got a sword in his mouth. He doesn't really know. I really like this because, the sword is the tongue, obviously. So he's got a lot of, the ability to speak words of power. He's got this strange branch with different faces, different tools and resources he needs. He's got the bell on the end of the sword, which could be a bit of a type of a charm in his voice, a bit of a lure. This sheath of wheat, which talks about his own sense of resource and personal abundance, well-dressed, not a vagabond, not necessarily a tramp, but mentally juggling. Here's the Magician, okay? Much more of a master, much more mature, someone who owns his space very well, guarded, protected with that fence behind him. All kinds of jars and beakers on the ground. High Priestess, a very learned woman, okay? Great scholarship. Wow, the Empress between the rod of Moses and the cross of Christ. And this is not the rod. This is the bronze serpent. So, Moses had more than one staff. Okay, so yeah, this is the other one, and she's got the angle. So we see some Masonic images here. Now, this deck really comes out of the alchemy, the Masons. Yeah, she's got a cross and an angle. She's got a compass here. I see the lamb. These cherubs, wow. She has a skull, which you wouldn't really think in an Empress card. The Emperor, oh, interesting. Receiving the 10 Commandments. I can't wait till I get my Gustave Doré Bible cards, because these are going to be different. The High Priest, he's wearing the breastplate of the High Priest here, a Levitical priest. Again, as they're constructing the temple, and again we see the Masonic symbolism here with the corner stone, and he's got this hammering tool. We've got the Lovers. Okay, this dude rode a dragon to get to that girl. He tamed the beast. That girl like scaled a tree. These guys got together by any means necessary. The chariot of Elijah, classic. And it's classic biblical imagery of this card. Strength. This is similar to the Whore of Babylon concept, but not necessarily. Could be Eve. I have to examine the symbolism here. I think this would be Eve with the fruit of knowledge of good and evil, obviously on the lion, and has tamed it. The Hermit, Wheel of Fortune. Again, now what I do like here is we do see this same Kabbalistic glyph here, or alchemical glyph here, that we see in the classic Rider-Waite, which is very interesting, considering that they are subscribing to the Golden Dawn. So this may, I wonder where that comes from. So this is primarily Kabbalistic and alchemistic. This is not shouting out the Golden Dawn necessarily. It says that D.W. Prudence graduated from the Hypnosis Training Institute in Central California in 1994, Therapeutic Learning Center School for Massage, 97, Bachelor of Science, Psychology, 02, Master of Arts, 08, Hypnotherapy Certification, Hypnotherapist, studied Therapeutic Touch, Kundalini Yoga, Palmistry, Magic with a K, Kabbalah with a Q for several years before finally becoming a non-denominational Christian. Christian mystics on the rise. Okay. Christian witches represent. I guess Christian mystics can't do this. We have to do this and this. We have to do this together. All right, the devil. I'm sorry, death. Boom. Bunch of dead people. The scales. Waiting at judgment. Ooh, it's an army of dead people. Temperance. This stuff is so fascinating. This is so beyond me right now. The devil being killed by some knight. About to eat him also. The tower. This dude is getting pulverized. Oh my God, the action. This dude is getting it from every angle to destroy him, from above, from the side. This guy can't even pull his sword out. It's just snuck up on him. This dude cannot even pull his sword out. He was ambushed. Okay, the tower, the star. So elegant. I need a woman like that. Okay. A hairy girl. Just kidding. Here we go, the moon. Now we see again the secrets here. Okay, she's got this fire speaking to this lunar energy. Okay, this one's very interesting. No dogs, but it's some kind of creature from below that you see she's preoccupied with this mysterious emerging creature. Okay. The sun. Okay. So these are very cerebral and not as image-based, okay? Judgments, the world, okay? So these are image-based, and they have their own art form, but the art is not explicit. The art is going to be something that you have to have personally investigated yourself. Like you can't look at this and say, oh yeah, the Starbucks girl. That's not what's happening here, okay? This is a virgin producing milk, okay? There's so much happening in this that is not even, you know, you've got to do a lot of research and study. Okay. Anyway, so this is super cool. I'm going to look at these and geek out and take my time. I'm not going to take any more of your time. Thank you so much for joining me for the unboxing of these cards. We got to check out the Hermetic Tarot, which I'm super excited about. And we got to check out the Alchemystic woodcut, okay, which has this awesome, awesome text, okay? So I'm super excited about this. This is not, this looks like a lot more academic and mental and mental work and research that's gonna have to go into instead of having these more of a visceral, emotive readings that I get with the Rider-Waite style decks. But this is really going to, if nothing else, give me layers and layers and layers of meaning for each of these cards, allow me to understand the astrology and the relationship between the astrological cycles with the tarot and in mysticism and in you know the middle path, as well as you know, giving me more occult and occult knowledge, you know, and magical influence. So I'm excited, and yeah, I'm super excited. I probably should spell this YouTube page so I can get some fans. Anyway, see you later.